first of all, how does the back pay work? So back pay is also known as retroactive pay. So for every month that you are out of work, that you are able to prove that you are eligible for Social Security disability benefits but have not been approved, you are eligible for back pay. So let's walk through an example, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's see, we are in May right now, so we'll use this calendar year. The first 5 months that you are out of work, it's called an elimination period. There's no back benefits. Elimination could be another way for Social Security to save some money. So if you're out of work for January, February, March, April, and May, which we are in, then your first month of back benefits would be June, would be the 6th month, right? So if you are able to prove that you are not able to work because of your injury or illness in January of this year, then you would be able to have that be your onset date. And every month from June on would be an accumulation of your back benefits. All right? So, does that make sense? Maybe. All right. So we're going to come back to the critical piece of proving that your onset date is in January, because if you don't, and Social Security resets it to a time later, then you lose money. All right, so you apply for disability in like in this month in May, knowing that the next month of June is going to be your first month of back benefits. And let's say for math calculations, your application would be submitted in May, but it'd really be starting in June. So, and it takes you 10 months to get your decision. Possible right now should be like 6 or 7, but it could be 10. Mm-hmm. So that would mean that you have from June all the way through 10 months. So June minus 2 months would be March of next year. You get approved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 10 months. Okay. So in March of 2026, you get approved. And you would get ideally a back benefit check for the 10 months from June to March. So if your monthly check was, let's say it's $2,000 a month, you are going to have a $20,000 check from Social Security, yes, deposited in your account. So that is the concept of back pay. But if you don't get approved at the 10-month March and March of 2026, and it continues to go on, your back benefits will continue to accrue. So some things to take into consideration. Sometimes people have a hard time, finding a way to survive the wait, and they can make deals with their landlord, understanding that you're going to get some back pay to pay off and resolve bills, but you've got to win your case, right? Now, here's another thing to take into consideration, is that if you are out of work for more than 12 months, like that 10-month example that I gave you from June to March, if you are out of work for more than 12 months, that's the maximum amount of time that you can get back benefits for, is 12 months. The 13th month on, you're forfeiting your monthly checks. So those of you that are out there listening optimistically, want to go back to work or think you can go back to work, that's all well and fine. But from a financial perspective, you should really submit an application to lock in your benefits in the event that you cannot work or you go back to work or it's not successful. Because otherwise, you're just forfeiting that money, right? So that's a consideration. Now, your onset date. We went back to January of this year. This is where your medical records and your communication to Social Security is critical, because if they are not able to understand, meaning Social Security is not able to understand that your disability started in January, and let's say they move it up to like June, well, you missed 5 months. That's a $10,000 deal. So when we do our work here and you get into our disability approval course, which if you're new here, you'll learn about how you can get a membership and into the course. You'll learn how to communicate your limitations to your doctor and how really critical it is, even if you're still working, to demonstrate that when your disability started. Okay, and that limitations meaning the amount of time that you can stand for. Maybe that's 15 minutes. Or the amount of time you can sit for. Maybe that's 10. Or you only can lift like 7 pounds, not even a gallon of milk. Those types of limitations, right? So you want to make sure you get your onset date locked in and established with Social Security. You want to make sure that you file so that you don't forfeit any money. These are just my financial suggestions. You can do whatever you want, which most people do. But these are some tips to help you get the most out of your back benefits. So here is a situation that does come up on occasion, is that people get approved and they look at their award letter and they're like, oh my God, they moved my onset date from January to June and it cost me 10 grand, right? This happens. So what do? First of all, you want to review your award letter and make sure it's right. And if you get into this situation, it's really a delicate one because you do have the right to appeal it. So you can appeal and go back and reference the medical records. But this is what I have personally had happen. First of all, I'll start with the good news. Michael Hatterton, who is a member here, he disputed his, and in the show notes, the description of this event, you can go listen to his interview, and he was able to get his adjusted back. He's the only guy I know. What commonly happens is Social Security will get an appeal like that, and it's happened to me from members that we've represented, and they've totally shut off their benefits. So they've gone from approving to not saying that, disputing the onset date, to going to the extreme and shutting it off. Okay, so then yes, that can happen. We did go back to court and we got the benefits reinstated and got all the money back. But you have to be prepared to have your benefits shut off if you dispute your back pay. And if you can do that financially and definitely you feel it's right and just, then I suggest you go for it. It's your money. Worst case scenario, you'll likely get approved again and maybe they just adjust the onset date. So these are some of the things that will happen with your back benefits. So, and if you don't know what your back benefits or your check amount is going to be, then you can go into your Social Security account and look at that.